But obviously, I love classic. I live, eat, and breathe it, and I truly believe in the products, and I think that's why I've stayed for so long. I can't really imagine myself working for any other company in this industry. From the people to the products that we make, and then just our mission and everything behind the products. Classic has been around for, well, WTFN, our whole company has been around for over 40 years. So again, we've been in the game for a long time. We typically make what I call lotions and potions, and really just items that are CPGs, consumer packaged goods. So I kind of want to enter this presentation more along the lines of thinking about opportunity and experience because we all know that the economy is not that great. And we're all very picky with what we're bringing in and what we're not bringing in. But understanding that lotions and potions, especially our specific products, almost everything has an MSRP. I would say 99% of our products have an MSRP of $30 or less. We only sell, I think it's the Pure Instinct for Men line that the MSRP is like $32.95. But other than that, everything else is below a $30 price point, and the average product within our line is between $15 and $20. So it's a sweet spot there. And so the opportunity is if someone is coming into your store to buy, let's say, a toy or lubricant or condoms or things like that, you still have an opportunity to sell these folks simply because these are products that the majority of people in the United States use. Statistics like 7 out of 10 and 8 out of 10 people. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that once we get to those particular products. But again, 7 out of 10 people or 8 out of 10 people interacting with you, walking into your store, buying on your website, you know that even if they're not looking for a perfume or a shave cream or any sort of bath and body, they still do these things. And so you still have an opportunity to sell them. As a company, everything is made in the United States in Chatsworth, California. Everything is paraben free and sulfate free, safe for most skin types. And I like to say most simply because there is no such thing as an absolute in our industry. I'm sure you've got people who you look at them the wrong way and you blink at them the wrong way and they grow a bump. That's how sensitive they are to everything. But we are in the adult world, so hopefully they already know what they're sensitive to and what they might be allergic to, and they'll be able to have these conversations with you about that. So everything that we formulate, the base is a person who was born with a vulva, a vagina. So if you were born with that, anyone who falls above that baseline will be completely okay because we formulate products for that person in mind. However, again, no such thing as an absolute. So focusing on benefits and features of a product and allowing the customer to make the decision for themselves if this works for them or not is the best route to go, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I just want to talk a little bit about a couple more housekeeping items. Our website is used specifically to grab information. So, if at any point ever you are having issues with anything or within our catalog or have questions about anything within our catalog, you can get videos, you can get images, you can get assets, SDS sheets, pretty much the gamut, copy on how to actually say certain things, ingredient decks, all on our website, which is www.classic-brands.net. Again, no selling is done on that site. It is specifically for you, the retailer, to, find whatever it is that you may need and download that information. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff in the next 40 minutes or so. So at the very end, I will take questions. I won't pretty much answer anything in between that time. So either jot it down, you can actually put it in the chat if you'd like, and then we can kind of reference it. And Molly, if you could help me out with that, once we get to the end, like you could say, hey, this person asked a question, and we could scroll back to that. That would be great. Also, the PowerPoint, the visual deck that I'm going to show you all is available for you to have. So if you want that, I can get it in PDF form and sent over to Molly, and then she can get it out to you so you have all the information in front of you. Also, our fragrances, if you don't know, we have a reference fragrance sheet that talks about the dupes. And if you don't have that, please get that from Molly as well. She has that available. But this has been extremely helpful for a lot of our customers, especially those that carry our pheromone fragrances. So, if any of you after this want something more detailed or want me to talk to your staff, etc., we can always set up a Zoom. Just reach out to Molly. She will make sure that we can make that happen. Oh, and Molly will get the dupe sheet again. I will make sure that Molly gets the dupe sheet again. So just reach out to Molly though for anything regarding Zooms or any sort of information that you may need. All right, well, let's just jump right into it. Let me go ahead and share my screen and just give the thumbs up when you see my screen. Everyone can see it? All right, perfect. All right, so again, classic brand's been in the game for over 40 years. We pretty much are the number one sellers of pheromone fragrances and retail have been for many years, as well as sexual health and beauty products, top selling lotions and potions, as I like to call them. So let's just jump right into it. Coochie shave cream. And of course, my cat always likes to join in. Uh, Whenever I do a Zoom, I don't know what it is about a Zoom. She just loves to jump. Say hi, Luna. Let's just jump right into it when it comes to Coochie shave cream. So Coochie is a very like tried and true product. We know that this product sells at retail, but why Coochie in adult retail? Well, it's really just about statistics. And remember, I told you that number at the very beginning. So really, 7 out of 10 people remove hair from their body consistently. Be it, and it's actually a little bit higher than that. It's 8 out of 10, but 7 out of 10 people still remove hair with a razor. A lot of people will wax, a lot of people will laser, but the majority of folks are still removing hair from their body, their underarms, their legs, their bikini line, their booty area, anywhere where there's hair, their head, their face, with a shave cream and a razor. So you have an opportunity here, and that's why Coochie in adult works. Also, when you think about just adult products in general, it's all about kind of evoking senses. So smell, touch, taste, etc. And the first thing that people do when typically when they're in play mode is they're touching each other. So having that smooth feel and that clean look really makes people feel more confident. It, just makes them feel much better about themselves. So again, comfort and confidence. These benefits really, really resonate pre-intimacy. So it starts even before the intimate encounters happen. So of course, the way that someone smells, and obviously Coochie Shave Cream has some really, really amazing fragrances even with people who have or penis owners, if you shave in that area, a lot of times it gives you the appearance of looking bigger. And I don't think there's too many people who would be mad with saying that it looks like they have a bigger dick, right? And then you also have the really clean look and feel of a shave with Coochie Shave Cream. And that is really what makes Coochie what it is. It's the formulation. It's the lanolin, the jojoba, the vitamins B5, the keratin that's in there that really, really create this wonderful shave so that you get no ingrown hairs, no rashes, no bumps, and you just have a really nice, clean shave. That formula that I just told you about, super same tried and true. The only thing that we've removed in the last 10 years, and that's since I've been around, is parabens. Parabens used to be in the product over a decade ago, and those were removed. But it's the same tried and true formula with the lanolin, the jojoba, the vitamin B5, and the keratin in there. And because of that, it's not just a full body shave cream, shaving the head, shaving the face, anywhere where you've got hair. It's also a hair conditioner. Because of the keratin in there, it really makes your hair feel nice and soft and supple and conditioned and hydrated. If you've ever heard of a keratin hair treatment, this is literally the way to go. And you can use this every single day on your hair as your conditioner. Keratin is a protein, so I do want to emphasize that proteins will lay on the surface of where it's being placed. It penetrates slightly, but it kind of protects the shaft. So after about 6 to 8 weeks, you definitely want to use a clarifying shampoo if you're using this as a hair conditioner. Also, the third use for Coochy is that it's an in-shower body lotion. So it's very similar to the Jergens brand. That's an in-shower body lotion. You bathe with whatever soap, with whatever body wash that you use. You still stay in that shower. You've got the water running. You put a dollop in your hands, about a quarter size amount. You're going to rub this anywhere on the body that you want, specifically focusing on really like those dry areas, like the elbows, the knees, that sort of thing. Rub it in until it's completely dissolved, and then just rinse your body completely with water. Step out of the shower, pat yourself dry. You have set the foundation for really soft, supple, hydrated, conditioned skin. So this is a three-in-one product. And the results pretty much speak for themselves. A lot of people will share pictures with us, will share their stories with us. And, the proof is in the pudding. Being around for over 40 years, because Coochy was one of the first products that most started, really tells you that we stood the test of time. Lots of porn stars back in the day would use us. Home Party was really huge with this. And then, of course, we brought this into retail. So that leaves me to our fragrances. We have 8 fragrances to choose from, and off to the right there, you see the sizes plus the wholesale prices. But our number one seller, and everything that's going to pop up is going to be in order of top sellers all the way down to the least selling fragrance. So frosted cake, of course, that kind of just speaks for itself. Cake, so you're going to smell just like a cake. It's got the buttercream in there, a little bit of vanilla as well, some lilac. Our number two is Island Paradise, which that doesn't really tell you what the fragrance is when you just see the word Island Paradise. You might think maybe coconut or something along those lines, but it's really acai berry and mangosteen. So the one thing I do want to point out, if you turn the package over, on the back of the packaging of all of our Coochy fragrances is writing, and there's black writing at the bottom, which that's where your directions are, the ingredient deck is. But then at the very top, there's a colored block of writing, and that literally will tell you what the fragrance notes are. So you don't have to have this memorized at all. You can just turn the bottle over. In that colored writing section at the very top, it will say exactly what you see here: buttercream, lilac, vanilla, mangosteen, acai berries. So you don't have to, if someone's like, well, what does Island Paradise smell like? You don't have to make things up, which I've heard plenty of times people just kind of off the cuff say what they think it smells like. Number three is sweet nectar, which is pears and berries. I do want to point out that from back in the day, pearberry was one of our number one selling fragrances. This is pearberry. We just call it sweet nectar. So those are our top 3 fragrances, followed by Seduction, which is a newer fragrance in our lineup, about 3 years old now. Honeysuckle is in here, a little bit of passion fruit, some jasmine. Then you have Peachy Keen, which is peaches, a little bit of sugar cane. No real sugar is in here. Everything is synthetic, by the way. So nothing that is sweet smelling or sweet tasting has real sugar in it. If it's flavored with anything with that sweet, it's either going to be sodium saccharin or natural honey extracts or sucrose in there, by the way. But this is our number 5 fragrance, followed by natural. So natural is great simply because it's no fragrance at all. So again, those people who I said no such thing as an absolute, you blink at them the wrong way and they get a bump. This is going to be the fragrance formulation for them. No scent at all. But what I like about this is You can kind of flip this up a little bit. You can add a few drops of our Pure Instinct oil in here. Now you've got a Pure Instinct smelling Coochy shave cream. If you've got your favorite essential oil that you absolutely love, cinnamon or patchouli or whatever the case may be, you can put one or two drops in the natural, and now you have your own version of Coochy shave cream. So I think it's versatile in that way because you can create your own scent if you happen to not want to smell like frosted cake or, peaches. Then the Berry Bliss, I'm just showing you with this particular image the four different sizes that we have. But Berry Bliss is basically sparkling champagne, a medley of summer berries in here, raspberry, strawberry, cherry, and that is our number seven fragrance. And Floral Haze is the least selling fragrance out of all of them. I would also say it's probably the most unique smelling out of all of them. All the other fragrances, in my opinion, have a much sweeter kind of take to the fragrance, whereas Floral Haze is very floral forward. So there's some rose, some jasmine, but a little bit of fruit blossom just to kind of balance it out. So with these sizes here off to the side, you will see there's a zero point 0.5 ounce, a 3.4, a 7.2, as well as a 12.5 ounce. And each one of these fragrances have each one of these sizes represented. So we know Coochie's the bomb, right? We know it's an amazing shave cream because it's been around for everybody, around forever. Everyone asks for it by name. But honestly, I call this the Fantastic Four right here. These are the products that really shine, in my opinion. Yes, Coochie is our number one selling product, but these products do not get the love and the attention that they deserve. Many of them should be sold more than Coochie shave cream because really they're daily used products. You need to wrap your head around the fact that all of these products need to be used every single day. And I'll get into exactly why and how in a minute. But you know that they're going to be daily use products. Everyone now is doing self-care. I don't care what gender you are or how you gender yourself. Every person now understands routines, understands getting up in the morning and finishing off at night. And it's just a part of the program now. We see it in commercials and on social media. So this is a part of your traditional self-care routine. And it needs to be emphasized to the customer at all times that these products really elevate Coochie shave cream. They really take it to the next level. This also increases your average ticket sale. Again, taking it back to the very beginning, you're talking $15 to $20 MSRPs for these products. Nowadays, lotions, aftershaves, products that stop sweating, etc. You're talking anywhere from $30 to $40 at a CVS or a Walmart or places like that. So we are completely competitive when it comes to competition, but we also get the job done. We do what we say we're going to do when it comes to these products. And again, I'll get into each one of them in just a second. And then, of course, this creates a repeat customer because it's a consumer packaged good. And again, that just means someone tries it, they love it, and they're going to keep coming back to the store to buy that particular product. So let's get into each one of them. My favorite product. It's not about me, but it is my favorite product, Rash Rescue. This is probably the best product that we make. And this is my opinion, of course, but I'm going to tell you why. There are well over 8 different botanicals in here. We just listed 8 here on the screen, but it's made and formulated to really be kind of like the dynamic duo to Coochy. This is Robin and Coochy is Batman, okay? So without Robin, there is no Batman, right? So keeping that in mind, this is not just a post-shave spray, shower and shave. So have that in your mind, and that's why this is a daily used product. So you're going to get out of that shower, no matter if you shave that day or not, you are going to spray this on your body, especially where you have shaved. Why? Because Coochy gives you this amazing shave, right? I told you all the amazing ingredients in Coochy. However, Coochy can only do so much because we've got clothes that rub up against us that cause bacteria buildup and irritation. We've got our hands and other people's hands touching us that can cause a lot of irritation or bacteria buildup. We've got the elements that are outside, wind, rain, sun, dust, all of that can cause the ingrown hairs, the rashes, and the bumps that everyone hates when it comes to removing hair from their body. So, Rash Rescue is the protective barrier between you and all of the things that I just said. You spray this on your skin every time you get out of the shower. So if you shower twice a day, you're spraying it twice a day. If you shower 3 times a day, you're spraying it 3 times a day. Why? You get out of that shower, your pores are opened, allowing all this stuff to get on the inside. You're putting clothes with dyes and detergents on, rubbing up against your skin. So you spray this, becomes the protective barrier. So nothing can get into those pores. It's rock solid. Nothing will get in, causing the bacteria buildup. You start to use this daily, every single day. Over the course of 2 to 3 weeks, you will see a complete difference in your skin's tone and its texture. It is really a miracle product, in my opinion. And there's no added fragrance to this. What you smell are just the botanicals that are in here, the lavender, the cucumber, the chamomile, the raspberry, the clover, the sage, the oat, the wheat germ, the oat kernel. So all of these things you smell, and that gives that kind of spa-like smell. But on top of it being this wonderful protective barrier that's really pretty much eliminates those ingrown hairs, those rashes, and those bumps. If you got sunburn, spray it on the sunburn. Instantaneous relief. You will feel like you were touched by God. Oh, thank you so much. Spray this on bug bites. Instantaneous stop from that itch, from that horrible itch when that mosquito bites you. When hair starts to grow back and you want to scratch yourself, spray it on that area. Instantaneous relief. You won't be scratching yourself. I and many other people use it as a primer and a setting spray for makeup. I did it for my makeup today. I pretty much do it for any time I put on makeup, which is usually when I do a Zoom or when I'm at a trade show. And I just love the fact that it gives me a light, dewy kind of look. And I put it on my skin early this morning when I got dressed. So it really stays and leaves me looking, I think, kind of fresh and bright and glowy. But this is just an amazing product, and everyone should be selling it. You should be putting it with Coochy. If someone is picking up a bottle of Coochy, they should be told about Rash Rescue and all of the amazing benefits to this product. And if you're actually seeing your customer, if you're not an e-commerce person and you're having that one-to-one interaction, if it looks like, they shave or if they have the Coochy and they're bringing it up to you, you can even ask them, hey, would you like some Rash Rescue? They might go, oh no, that's okay. Coochy does the job. That's when you ask them, well, do you ever get ingrown hairs, rashes, and bumps between your shaves? Like 9 out of 10 people will say yes. And that's when you go in with your 30-second spiel about how amazing Rash Rescue is and why that's the missing component to them having no ingrown hairs, rashes, or bumps ever. And that is Rash Rescue. You can tell I love it. I love it. All right. Now we've got Feel Fresh. And I want to just back up really quick because I thought Sweat Defense was, nope. So I guess it is Feel Fresh. So Feel Fresh, the best way to kind of think about this product is, I know we've all heard of Febreze. This is Febreze for the body. And this is our third best-selling product out of all of the Coochy line in general. So I'm really impressed. I just saw these numbers. It wasn't that the case over the last couple of years, but it's kind of made its way up there. But it's got the baking soda in here. It's got the rosemary extracts. Rosemary acts as a natural deodorizer. Baking soda absorbs unwanted odor. So spray it on your body. It becomes Febreze for the body. This does not replace a shower. I'm just putting that out there. But let's just say you're going from work to a nighttime event. You don't have time to freshen up or shower. Spray this on the body. You can spray this on the clothes as well. It will just really help to freshen you and really make you feel clean. So think about that. Febreze for the body when it comes to feel fresh. And the fragrance note for this, and you'll notice here with all three of the pieces on the screen that have pink, all of them smell like peony, however you want to pronounce that flower. It is native to Hawaii, so it's a sweeter smelling flower. But these three items, the Feel Fresh, the Sweat Defense, and the Fab Fresh, all have that light, very light, sweet floral smell to it. Rash Rescue is the only item in the Fantastic Four that has no added fragrance to it, but it is a very calming fragrance. Here's Sweat Defense. This is my second favorite product. When you think about boob sweat, swamp ass, under the armpits, between the thighs, even the bottoms of your feet, just the thought of it being sticky and nasty and sweaty just doesn't feel good. We all know this. This is going to be your reliever for that. And it's not powder at all. It is just tapioca starch. So tapioca starch doesn't clump, it doesn't cake up, it doesn't ball like talcs do, like powders do. It leaves a nice, clean finish that feels great to the skin. There's also vitamins E in here and oat beta glucan, which really help to hydrate the skin and soften the skin, but also leaving that shield that almost is again a protective barrier so that you don't have to worry about the chafing between your thighs or that kind of irritating feel under the boobs. Just a cool product. I do want to say that even though it's 3.4 ounces, it's a small little tube, it packs a punch because all you need is a pea size amount to cover an entire thigh area. So you take that pea size amount, you rub it all the way into the skin until it becomes a dry powder-like substance. And that is when the work starts to happen. It becomes that barrier where it really leaves a smooth kind of silky feel when the skin on skin contact happens. It also absorbs the unwanted odors that are happening. It will not absorb a ton of sweat. So, like if you're a basketball player and you're sweating buckets, I'm going to keep it real. This is not going to absorb all of that. But again, the throughout the day when you've got that slight boob sweat or like I said, swamp ass or underneath the arms, etc., you can use this. It is not an antiperspirant either. So using it under the arms will not stop you from sweating. It will just really help to kind of leave that clean smell there to you and absorb any of the perspiration that kind of just kind of sets out. But if you're like sweating buckets, it will not get all of that. The other thing that I want to point out is it does leave a slight residue on the skin. It does not stain you at all, but I have on all black. And if I put some on and I went like this, it would appear on my skin just like powder would. So you want to make sure to wipe it off or just be careful when you're applying it and then washing your hands afterwards. But this is a great product that doesn't clump or cake or ball up. It's cooling to the touch. It really helps with the chafing. Summer is coming up. Should be in your arsenal at all times. And again, it smells like the peony. And then the last product in the Fabulous Four, the Fantastic Four, is Fab Fresh. So we have a whole line called Coochy, and we didn't have a cleanser for the vulva area. And we're like, hey, why not make a cleanser to really kind of clean these intimate areas, especially since we have a whole product line called Coochy. So about 4 years ago, we came out with Fab Fresh. What makes this kind of unique is it's chock full of some really amazing ingredients, specifically lauric acid. So lauric acid can be found in coconut. That's really where a lot of people will find they'll derive it from coconut or any sort of coconut-based products. But lauric acid is antibacterial, it's antimicrobial, it's anti-inflammatory. It has all of these wonderful properties, and this is put into this particular wash. It has a radish root in here. So radish root it's fermented slightly. And so if you know anything about kimchi and eating kimchi, which is a fermented cabbage, it's an Asian food. A lot of people eat it because it really helps to clean clean and cleanse and soothe their insides. Well, the same thing with the radish root here. It's going to cleanse and be very mild and gentle and cleanse the outside of the vulva, etc. This is not for internal use, by the way. This is specifically for outside use anywhere on the body. And even though we're calling it Fab Fresh and it's specifically marketed for intimate areas, you can use it anywhere on the body. Literally anywhere on the body. I have a whole tube, and I always have a tube in my bathroom simply because I love it so much. And then another side thing is, and the reason why I love it is this is for the side reason, is it really helps with odor and controlling odor. So, and we even had someone in Arizona write an article about it. But basically, and I don't know if I think it's the formulation, there's not one set ingredient that does this, but it really helps to stave off odor for a long period of time. What the article said was this woman, she has a fupa. She said no matter what sort of bars of soap she uses, whatever, she would always smell herself. Her own natural smell would start to appear after, 4 or 5 hours, and she didn't want that to happen. She felt that this product was the only product that would allow her to go for a full day without smelling herself. And then we started hearing this same story with people throughout the country. And I can attest to the fact that when you use this product, it really just helps with controlling odor as well. But it is marketed for the intimate areas. It's very hydrating. And we put a lot of lauric acid in here, so you don't have to worry about any sort of bacteria buildup, anything knocking off your microbiome, any of those things. This is just a really kind of cool cleanser that can be used anywhere on the body. And again, it does have a slight fragrance. Again, it's calming, it's uplifting, and it's really, really light. We are looking to create something that is unscented for people who do have, again, very or extreme sensitivities to fragrances. But that lines up the entire Fantastic Four: the Rash Rescue, the Feel Fresh, and the Sweat Defense. Quickly, we have our Coochy Ultra line, and there are 3 items in this line. We have a scrub, a shave, and a lotion in here. And really, we created this line with the person in mind who has very kinky, coily, curly hair. Because typically, that structure of hair, when it grows out of the skin, and because it's kinky and coily and curly, it damages the skin more. It doesn't just come straight out like a piece of straight hair. It breaks the surfaces a little bit more, causing more ingrown hairs because it grows back into the skin, more irritation, etc. So because of this, we created this particular line with that person in mind. So you have a scrub, which I think is one of the best scrubs on the market. It's got lactic acid beads in here. So there's no sugar scrub or no salt scrub, but lactic acid really helps to dissolve and exfoliate that dead skin that's on the surface that can cause, the ingrown hairs, the rashes and bumps if you're not shaving correctly. So it really gets rid of all of that, leaving a really, really smooth, soft surface so that when you shave with the shave cream, which is chock full of the butters, as I like to call them, there is jojoba oil, which is very similar to the original Coochy shave cream, but that's where it ends. With this, you've got shea butter in here. There's coconut oil in here. There's avocado oil in here. So you've got a lot more rich, moisturizing oils in this particular shave cream. You would not use this as a hair conditioner because those oils would weigh your hair down for sure. You might use it as a mask maybe, but for sure not a hair conditioner. This is a true, tried and true shave cream only. There's no 3-in-1 with this. But again, it is tackling a specific type of person. And again, that person is the one that says, I always get bumps. I don't care what you show me. I'm always getting bumps. Use this, not so much, right? And then lastly, you've got the lotion. And this is just a really nice lotion because we do put a little bit of tapioca starch in there, leaving that kind of silky feel as well. But this is made with olive oil. So it's really hydrating and moisturizing. And so the more you can hydrate your hair and your skin after you shave, the easier the hair is going to come out of that skin and not harm it as well. So as a system, these all work perfectly. You have the scrub, getting rid of the dead skin. You've got the shave, which gives you that nice shave for those people who have that curly, kinky hair, etc. And then you round it off with the lotion to really keep everything hydrated and soft and supple so that you won't have that irritation as time goes on and as you use this product. And the entire system smells just like mango coconut. That is the only fragrance in this line. We did get rid of the Lime Yours, which is the ingrown hair oil. I'm really sad about that because I loved that product. And I do not know if we are going to be bringing that product back. But this is Coochie Ultra for those curly haired people. Me. And now let's talk about some yummy things, what I call pleasure enhancement cosmetics. So there's two items that we sell in our line, nipple nibblers and oral sex gels, that I would consider pleasure enhancing cosmetics. What we do know is this is one of the fastest growing categories in adult. And here are some statistics. 48% of couples, or pretty much 50%, half of couples use flavored products during foreplay. So we know, again, there's opportunity again because there's a lot of people doing this. And then also, 74% of couples would use these types of products if they were easy and seamless, if they made sense, if the price point was right, etc. So I think the two items that we offer fit the bill across the board for everything. When it comes to the oral sex gels, this is a true oral sex gel in the sense we did not add any numbing ingredients in here. And I'm not knocking any products that do have numbing ingredients because there's a place for those. But this really is for that person who does not like the taste of penis or vagina. It's not about numbing yourself in any way. It's more about making sure you've got that juicy mouth so that you don't keep that dry mouth. You don't really like the tastes that are going on, even if it's, someone's clean. It's just not your jam. This will help to overcome those obstacles, so to speak. So it really creates juicy mouth when you place it on your tongue, or if you're playing with your tongue, if you're gliding with it on the skin. It's extremely glidable to the point where you feel a sensation because it just heightens wherever you're placing it. So there's no like mint or menthol in there, but because it's formulated to glide so seamlessly over the skin, it just gives you a nice feel and a heightened sensation when you're using it. And you can play with this, putting it on the back, spelling out someone's name, doing all of those things. Tastes absolutely wonderful because we don't add the numbing ingredients. It's true to the flavor that it says it is. Typically, and we've made these with numbing ingredients in the past too. So typically, when you add like a benzocaine or a lidocaine or any of the canes that would go into a number, it kind of just offsets the flavor simply because you have that extra ingredient. Because we don't have that ingredient in here, it's true to cotton candy or watermelon or our strawberry flavor. Really tasting really juicy and yummy, leaving that no dry mouth at all, having it extremely glidable and just tasting absolutely amazing. These are made with natural honey extracts and sodium sucrose, and that's where you're getting that kind of sweet flavor. And it is a foreplay item. We formulate everything so you don't have to stop play, wipe off, go into the bathroom, and then start play again. So this is not marketed to be put inside of the body. However, if you're playing around on the outside of the body, you don't have to stop and wipe things off to continue play. If a little bit happens to get in and around any of the more intimate or sensitive areas, you should be fine simply because we formulate our products this way. It's just not marketed to be inserted completely into the body, if that makes sense. And we do offer this in a bundle as well. What I like about our bundles is they're just super seamless. You get 4 to 6 pieces depending on the bundle, plus a free tester with it and some signage to kind of allow the customer to guide you through everything. It's in one SKU and the testers are right there for you. You don't have to worry about trying to hunt people down to get the testers. It's all packed together, and that's why I love the bundles or that opportunity. And of course, you can buy them all a la carte. And that leads me to our second item, which is the nipple nibblers. This is printing money. This is literally printing money at the register. Put this at point of sale and you will see these items go. 3 grams. So that 3 gram jar, if you put it in a chapstick size, it's almost the size of of a complete chapstick. So if people are kind of wondering, oh, these are kind of small, there's not a lot of product in here, say it's the same as it's almost the same size as your normal chapstick. And then that kind of clicks with people that, oh, okay, I am getting a lot more product than I think here. And I say chapstick because I always say this is for your lips. I have it on my lips right now. It's like one of my favorite products because it's extremely moisturizing. It's extremely long lasting. It tastes absolutely amazing. And I use the ones with the black caps, so it leaves a kind of cooling sensation on my lips as well. I love the cooling nipple nibblers. So great for the lips. Of course, they're called nipple nibblers. So, yeah, you got to put them on the nipples as well. And those ones with the black caps, they help to revive the dead. Like I've had people tell me they've put these on their nipples. They have no sensation whatsoever because maybe breastfeeding or they had a piercing that went bad, etc. They feel some form of sensation when they use the nipple nibblers. Also, because it's formulated to glide really, really nice, you can play with the nipples for quite a long time without having to have that irritating feel where someone's like, stop, no more. So it gives you long-lasting play as well. And then the third place you can place this product, which a lot of people don't know, is the feet. Because it's an oil-based product, I like to say stay away from the penis and the vagina, the vulva area, simply because if you're a penis owner and you're heterosexual and you have a partner, vagina and oil just don't mix. Just you don't want to put it in that area. Now, penis on penis, I'm sure that would be okay, but we just kind of say in general, stay away from that area. But tips, meaning your toes, put a little swipe of this. This is great for like foreplay when someone's wanting to give a nice, wonderful foot massage because we've all had those, right? And they feel like orgasmic, so almost. But imagine that nipple nibblers, you're taking a little swipe of it, so it's gonna help you to glide along the feet and give this wonderful, wonderful massage. But as the person who's giving this massage, you can now kiss on those toes and lick on those toes, and you've got this wonderful, wonderful flavor. And the person receiving the massage will feel, especially if you're using the ones with the black caps, will feel a cooling sensation as well. So again, talking about sensations, touch and feel and smell and all of those things, you're capturing all of this with nipple nibblers. And at a price point of MSRP of $6.50, I mean, most people are spending that for chapsticks now, but you've got a chapstick, you've got a nipple play and a foot play item all in one. So with each one of these tubs, the black are your cooling, as I said, there's 6 flavors in here. There's 6 flavors in the middle one, which is your sours. The sours have small little beads on the inside and they burst and kind of leave an airheads or a gummy kind of sours flavor. So if you're into that, you want to go with the sours. It also kind of exfoliates slightly. And I've had people say that the peach flavor rivals Lush, which is a brand that's out there. They have a lip exfoliant, and a lot of people will use the peach in place of that. And I believe their Lush peach flavored exfoliant for their lips is almost $20. So great price point compared to that. And then cocktail flavors. We use cocktail flavors simply because that's been the trend for the last couple of years and will continue to trend for the next 3 or 4 years. And we jumped on that trend. And now you have 6 cocktail flavors as well. But nipple nibblers, lips, nips, and tips, printing money. You cannot go wrong with this product. And you can buy all of these flavors if one of them does really well, a la carte, 36 deep. Everyone makes a toy cleaner nowadays, right? So not too much about the toy cleaner. The one, and they're all pretty much 99.9% kills all bacteria, etc. What I like about ours is the price point is nice, but also it tells you exactly what you need to do. Clean your toy before and clean it after. It's right on the package right there. So, and you spray, you wipe, and you play with this product. So not too much about the toy cleaner, but again, what I like about it is the fact that it tells you exactly what you need to do. Clean it before and clean it after. And now I'm going to round everything out with our pheromone fragrances, which have been killing the game, I have to say. I wear them all the time. I wear everything. I use everything pretty much almost because I love everything. And I'm super excited about our pheromone fragrances. Of course, we've been doing this since I started and even before me, but we have really stepped our game up. And they're doing phenomenal for us. And I just want to again talk about opportunity and experience here. All of the senses. You've seen, your head might be down and someone walks by you and it's just they smell good and you look up and you're kind of like looking off in the distance, like, who is that? That's what these do to you. It's liquid confidence. So it's essential for all good relationships, smelling good, and whatever good is to that person, because good is different for a variety of folks, but it for sure is essential to all relationships. The one thing to know from a sales perspective is that this is a category that is blowing up. It is on fire. It is projected by 2032 to be a $54 billion industry, which is like mind blowing when it comes to pheromone fragrances. So why not jump on what we know is going to happen when it comes to pheromone fragrances? It's a $1 billion industry. And again, talking about statistics, 8 out of 10 people in the United States wear some form of fragrance religiously, be it oils, be it sprays, be it body mist, concoctions that they make up. They are wearing fragrance because they want to smell and feel good about themselves. So you have an opportunity, even if a person isn't walking into your store, to still sell them on these fragrances, especially because we offer testers, and testers are crucial to sales. We see 4 times as many sales when people get the testers in versus people not having the testers. Because when was the last time you just looked at a fragrance and said, "Ooh, it looks like it smells good. Let me buy it"? Probably never. You have to smell it before you buy it for the most part, unless it's a reorder or a rebuy. So let's jump into the fabulousness of the fragrances. What are pheromones? Do they work? You know how many times I have heard this question over the course of decade and a half? Countless. Pheromones are really just chemicals that we have in our body that basically say, "Hey, come check me out. I'm here." Ours are synthetically made in Italy. They are bioidentical to human pheromones. They are vegan, and they pretty much mimic a human pheromone. They're not about someone taking your partner from you or being deceptive in any way, shape, or form. I kind of look at this again as liquid confidence. It just boosts your likability and your own charm. You become a more likable and a more charming person when you wear fragrance, especially pheromone fragrances. And do they really work? Well, we've got people who are shy who have written to us and have said, "You know what? I'm a wallflower. Nobody ever pays me any attention. I put on your pheromones and now I'm at the bar, people are hooking me up with drinks, chatting me up, wanting to dance with me." Like we've heard dozens of stories like this. We've got people who were out of a work. And, after a couple of months, they put on the pheromones. They were going for interview after interview with the pheromones on. They got the job. Right? People telling us this is happening. Biggest group of people that tell us the pheromones work. Customer service folks, people who are dancers, performers, servers, etc., telling us that they get double and triple the tips when they use pheromones. Now, what do they work? Obviously there's a huge mental piece to this, right? So if you feel good about yourself, if you look good, if you've got your makeup done, your hair's done, your cute little outfit on, you're kind of walking around with a little bit more swag, right? You just feel better and people gravitate towards that confidence, right? So there's the mental piece about it. But the science piece behind it is if you're spraying this or using any of our products, be it the oils, the sprays, or the body mist, and you put them directly on the skin, specifically the pulse points, like the wrists, the elbows, anywhere where you've got heat receptors, behind the ears, behind the knees, the divots in our hips, etc. it will help to increase the pheromone flow that is already happening in your body. So, unlike Rash Rescue, which I think is a miracle product, this is not a miracle product. I always say if someone is a horrible, miserable person, this is not going to work for them. But if you're already feeling confident and good about yourself and you're putting the product on your pulse points, it's just going to make you feel that much more excited or happy or energized or ready to go when it comes to your interviews or you dancing in front of someone or you out at the bar having a drink by yourself. And now let's just talk about the fragrances. I'm not going to get too much into fragrance notes and all of that stuff. Again, that's for more of like a really targeted Zoom training. And obviously, every person is going to be different. But again, opportunity because 8 out of 10 people are buying pheromone fragrance or buying fragrances in general. So you know that people are buying fragrances and they want to smell good. And we're just offering options here. Because if you go into a Macy's or a Sephora or any of these places, there's hundreds of fragrances that they offer. So if you're offering 20 or 30 different fragrances at your store, you're a small subset of what an average perfumer would offer, but you're still giving variety because one size does not fit all. So the Simply Sexy Affirmations collection is that colorful collection. It's got oils, perfumes, and mists. And all of these fragrances are dupes of fragrances currently on the market. So yours truly is inspired by Coach Floral. Let's Lock Lips is inspired by Kim Kardashian's Crystal Gardenia fragrance. Love All of Me is Romance by Ralph Lauren. This is also the old Simply Sexy. If you all remember, some of you have been around forever and a day. Simply Sexy used to come in a round, circled, clear bottle with a spray with a tag to it. This is literally that Simply Sexy Love, but we're calling it Love All of Me. So if someone was looking for that, this is the fragrance just rebottled. Lazy Sunday is our number one seller in the Affirmations line. And this is inspired by Trish McEvoy's number 9. And then Forget Me Not is Yves Saint Laurent's Black Opium fragrance. Now, the Confessions line is the black packaging with the rose gold accents. Again, if you're looking at the Affirmations line being very colorful, it's marketed towards someone who's a little bit more youthful, a little bit more fun and flirty because of the way that we market the packaging. Again, anyone can use this. It doesn't matter the age, the gender, etc. But this is where the marketing comes in. So this particular line, the Confessions line, is marketed with the dark packaging for someone who's a little bit more mature, a little bit more sophisticated, because we feel like the fragrance notes in here are a little bit more sophisticated for that person. Also, oils, perfumes, and mists are offered for all 5 of these fragrances. So Head Over Heels is the Michael Kors Sexy Blossom. The Turn Off the Lights is our own creation, and those are the fragrance notes there. All Night Long is Lancome's La Nuit Trésor fragrance. Afternoon Delight, my absolute favorite, is also a proprietary blend that we created, as well as the Let's Get It On is also a proprietary blend that we created. Turn Off the Lights happens to be our number one seller, followed by Head Over Heels, even though Afternoon Delight is my favorite. But it's not about me. And then the application methods. You've got an oil-based roll-on, which is the number one selling application for both of the Confessions and the Affirmations line. Our oil bases are grapeseed oil, soybean oil, and safflower oils. We also have vitamin E in here as well. And then you also have a perfume spray, which is an alcohol base, which is your typical spray that you would get if you were to buy a fragrance at Macy's or Sephora, just kind of sprays out. And then you also have the water-based body mist. This body mist is going to last on the skin 30 to 40 minutes max if you're lucky. Body mist should be sold with either the roll-on or the spray as a layer or a booster of the fragrance. It's a way to not use up that oil or that spray because you're spending a little bit more money on that, and you can layer and boost the fragrance throughout the day with the water-based body mist. So you should really try to get both that body mist sold with either the roll-on if someone's walking up with the roll-on for a purchase or the spray. Try to get that sold with that. Do that cross sell as well. And then we do offer these in bundles. Like I said, 4 deep. So typically when to get a tester, to activate getting a tester for free, we always require a six deep purchase of one SKU. What makes the bundles great is it's just four deep and we automatically throw in the tester and it's just one SKU. So it's so easy to just get the bundle and then try the products. And if they all are a hit, great. Keep buying the bundle and replenishing that way. Already have the testers with it. If they don't, then that's when it's great to just buy a la carte based off of what does well for your customer base. And you all are getting the first peek of this. And you can place orders with Molly today, even if you want, even for the future, because this is only valid from March 22nd to April 3rd. But we are offering our roll-on displays which you would typically buy for this price anyway, the 290, 250. But what we're doing is we're adding a free extra piece in every single fragrance. So you're talking close to $100 MSRP, which is literally pure profit for you. And we're only offering this during this time frame. Molly will take pre-orders for it, and then we will have everything ready to go. We also have a specific SKU number for it, which is right there. It's just the same SKU, but with the word promo at the end of it. Again, pure profit when it comes to the five extra fragrances that you're going to get that are thrown in completely separate. And they will all be packaged together, by the way. And then lastly is the Pure Instinct signature fragrances. So True Blue, been around forever and a day. This is the first fragrance that was put out there with the Jalique line many, many, many years ago. This is also a proprietary blend. It's mango, honey, cinnamon, and musk. And it was our number one seller. This is gender neutral in the sense that everyone will buy this and it smells uniquely different on every single person. I think that's why it stood the test of time and why it was our number one seller for such a long time. But Velvet is now our number one seller, which is a dupe of Versace's Eros. It has a more of a masculine kind of fragrance to it, but we're finding that a lot of people you can have a very feminine aesthetic and still love this fragrance. Number two fragrance now, out of all the fragrances we sell, is Blossom, which is the Victor and Rolf Flower Bomb fragrance. And then number three will be True Blue. So there has been some changes in the last year and a half when it comes to the top sellers. And I knew Blossom and Velvet would probably overtake True Blue after a while because they're just doing phenomenal for us. Then we added two new fragrances, Entice, which is the Jo Malone Nashi Blossom fragrance, and Crush, which is old school Clinique Happy. Um, Pure Instinct for Men. You have Escape, which is your Jimmy Choo Man Blue fragrance. Wanted, it's a proprietary blend. I kind of look at this as your lumber sexual because this has got you've got your metrosexual, which is Escape. This is who this is marketed towards, that person who might get their eyebrows and their a pedicure done. But Wanted is more of that lumber sexual. They still care about their grooming habits, but they might not go all the way pedicure or eyebrows done. And that's how I look at this fragrance. And then you have Captivate, which is to me a gender neutral fragrance. It smells kind of sweet and fruity. We're also offering both of these at altitude with the extra pieces added for each of the fragrances. So again, a great deal, pure profit for this, and it's only offered March 22nd through April 3rd. And you all are the first to see this because this is considered an altitude show special. Application methods for Pure Instinct. You have an oil-based roll-on, which I discussed with you before. Same oil base as the others, grapeseed oil, soybean oil, and safflower oils. Then you also have an oil-based dropper. Great for people who want to take that oil and put it into that Coochy shave cream au naturel because you can put the drops in there. You can put a couple drops on your dryer ball. Now you've got wonderful smelling clothes. You can put a few drops in your diffuser. Now you've got a room that smells just like your Pure Instinct. You can put a couple of drops in your bath water. Now you've got a spa-like bath. So you can use the dropper for multiple uses versus the roll-on, which is a lot more convenient. We are seeing the roll-on is still outselling the dropper by like 5 to 1, but you have more versatility with the dropper, to be quite honest, because you can do so many more things with it. And then, of course, and I think I put the pictures opposite. But the perfume spray is your typical alcohol-based spray. And then in the Pure Instinct for Men line, you have your roll-on with the same oil base, and we only offer it in a spray. This is the only line that we see the spray sells more than the oils. So, and it could be a gender thing where men just are trained to just buy things with sprays versus, a roll-on. But we see in all of the other lines, the roll-on does much better, whereas the Pure Instinct for Men, it happens to be the spray and not the roll-on. And the last two items that we have introduced to the show, which have just launched at the top of this year, even though we were talking about it for months prior, are hair and body mists. So we offer four in the Pure Instinct line. Again, this is a category on fire. What differentiates the hair and body mist from the body mist in the Simply Sexy line is those body mists are water-based. And with this, there's a little bit of alcohol in here, which does not damage the hair in any way, shape, or form. It really allows for the fragrance to last a lot longer. Remember, I told you the body mist 30 to 40 minutes max because it's about layering and boosting fragrance. You won't have to do that with the hair and body mists. And the four fragrances here are True Blue. This is the only fragrance that is the same as the True Blue roll-on and spray in the Pure Instinct signature line. All the other three fragrances are completely different. So you've got Crave, Sahara, and Scarlet Veil. And like I said, there is a reference sheet which tells you all of the fragrance notes as well as if it is a dupe or not. And then you've got a cute little display here if you want, or you can buy it in the bundle if you don't have room for a display, but you still want to buy four deep plus get the testers and the table tent. And then lastly is the Simply Sexy hair and body mists. What differentiates these hair and body mists from Pure Instinct hair and body mists is that we added a soy protein to these, and that's why they're a little bit more expensive, as well as the packaging is a little bit more upscale. It's more in line with the Skims line that Kim Kardashian has created. So if you notice, the last packaging for Pure Instinct had a very Sol de Janeiro look to it, which is like doing phenomenal numbers, that brand. So we're kind of not reinventing the wheel. We're jumping on board where it matters the most when we know that people are going to ride the wave. And also, it's just a really cute package. But with the upscale look of this packaging and the added soy protein, you've got a little bit more of a price point for this particular hair and body mist. And there are five different fragrances in this line. It does come in a bundle as well as a display. And they're the obvious choice. They're a great cross sell. You have a built-in customer because, like I said, 8 out of 10 people in the United States are wearing fragrance, so it makes sense. It's liquid courage, it's liquid confidence. So there's power behind these pheromones. And amazing fragrances that are dupes that you would go and spend $250, $300, $150 for if you were to buy the regular product. But you're going to be spending less than $30 for this and you're getting pheromones. And that's when you ask your customer, do you want one or two bottles? And of course, the unbeatable price, as I just mentioned. Are there any questions? Let me stop sharing. I know I went over. I'm sure I did. Oh, 6 minutes. Any questions? I saw a lot of stuff popping up while I was going through the presentation. So let's kind of backtrack and let's start from the beginning. Oh, thank you so much, Deborah. I appreciate it. Any questions?
I just appreciate you going over having all the notes broken down of the fragrances because
Okay.
and to be honest, I have not bought any of the fragrances that have the black with the gold because I didn't know what fragrances they were.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for Altitude next week to be able to smell all those.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, I think the best, what you're going to see is your best friend is the fact that that tester. So having that tester is so crucial. Like I said, buy 6 deep of any one SKU. You can get a tester, just you have to request it from Holiday. But if you buy the bundle, it's four deep and it automatically comes with the tester. But you will see people just being able to smell the fragrance is going to get the product sold. And then knowing that it's a dupe of an upscale fragrance, that's the double whammy.
right? And that velvet is just absolutely, I can't get enough of it when I wear it. It's amazing.
I love to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nicole, in the chat, there were a couple questions.
Okay.
Um, One about the 32-ounce Coochy
Mhm.
returning,
We're not selling it at retail at all, so it is not returning to retail.
and then is key lime pie going away? That was a limited edition, right?
Yes, yes. So it also was worse selling than Floral Haze.
Floral haze is
So
so nice.
I
It is
agree.
nice.
I think if you
It's
like
the
floral,
word floral. It's the word
yeah.
floral. You should rename it and get rid of the word. What it was the first name of it?
Now you've got me thinking now, Molly. Come on.
Something I love
Um,
you, something,
yeah, it was something even more where you didn't know what it was.
which
Um,
was fine. It smells just like Beautiful Day anyway,
There
from
was
Bath
one
and Body
too,
Works.
Be Original.
yeah, so the original has been gone for quite some time. I think it's been close to like 5 years that's been gone. That was the original fragrance. I've had so many people say no, 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 but the numbers showed that it declined over the years. And,
Mhm.
really, we make these decisions not just because someone's in the back going, hey, we don't like this fragrance, let's get rid of it. We literally look at the numbers in terms of sell through, and we make decisions based off of that. So even if you or your store sold a shitload of it, or this particular region did, we're seeing across the board that it's not a
Mhm.
great seller. And that's kind of what dictates if we're going to continue on with the fragrance or not. But we do listen as well. And that's why green tea came back three times because people were like, you can't do that. And we're like, okay, it's not selling. You can't do that. Okay, it's not selling. All right, we can't do that anymore. So we do give it a shot and we do listen. So I'm going to take anything that you say back to headquarters, let them know. Sometimes we bring stuff back, but like I said, green teas probably will not come back.
I think you guys would do great if you did take the word floral off the haze,
Okay.
because to me it is not that I can't do florals and I really like that one.
Yeah, it's very balanced, right?
Yes. Kind of a clean smell.
Okay. And you said there were some more questions, Molly?
There were a couple votes towards fragrance free on the Fab
Cat
Fresh,
Fresh.
and
What about was sweat defense too? Because I hear that a lot.
yeah,
Okay.
all three that are in peony.
Okay, and having a fragrance-free version.
That would be amazing.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Do you feel like you've learned a little something or this was helpful for you?
Oh, very helpful.
Awesome. All right. Well, if see, I do want to. So I do have to say this great call out, Kayla. So we have seen that with the Confessions line, which is the black packaging with the gold, rose gold accents, especially when it comes to the testers, people are grabbing them and the lettering is starting to fade or go away. And then you don't know what the fragrance is unless there's like a sticker on top of it, which can be extremely confusing. So I am with you on this. I was just at a training last weekend and I walked in the store and that was the first thing that I noticed. I'm like, we cannot have this. So we're already addressing that issue. We don't have a printer in-house, so we do all of that outside. So we're doing some QC stuff with it and just trying to make it work. But if you're having any issues whatsoever, I think we're creating like little stickers that will go on them just to kind of help until the problem is alleviated. But that's a great call out because I saw it firsthand last week.
That's really good to know too. I know in my previous company, we had some men's body sprays and the same thing happened. And I would take a brand new tester and I would actually put tape over
Yeah,
the ingredients and over the name of the product. I mean, you hate to do that,
right.
but with it coming off, I mean, what
Right.
else?
I think what's happening is because it's that the foil that is put on the packaging mixed with the oils and the pads of our fingers, and then some of the product probably dripping off on the sides.
Correct.
That's what's kind of making it fade. But again, regardless of the reason, it shouldn't be happening. So we're looking into that. Yeah, right. And then you're just like, well, which one was it? So yeah, that's unfortunate. Sorry about that, Kayla. But we are working on it. Anyone else? Any other questions before I let everyone finish off their day?
Just really enjoyed the in-depth training.
Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate your time. I know everyone's really busy. It's kind of a crazy time in the world right now, so I appreciate you giving me a little bit of your time. And like I said, I'm here. I'm your advocate. I'm here for you. Reach out to Molly if you ever want a Zoom training specifically for your staff or anything along those lines. What we do is we set it up, give us a couple of weeks. We send product to your staff so it's ready to go. You can kind of see it. We give little gifts for each one of the folks because right now we're not doing as much travel as we used to. I used to be a really big road warrior pre-COVID. We have switched up. We have pivoted due to COVID, and we are offering Zooms. I know a lot of people are Zoomed out, but I do try to make things fun and exciting and interactive, and I do play games as well when I do staff trainings. Uh, Anybody else? And I'll get that over to you, Erica. I'll make sure Molly gets it and everyone will get the reference sheet.
Yeah, a lot of the information's already up on the resource in the posts about each collection.
Okay. All right. I think
Thank you so
that's.
much for your time, Nicole. We love you. We'll see you next week in Vegas. If
Oh,
anyone is going to be
you
in Vegas,
were
we will see you
there.
there.
I didn't even know you were there. So funny.
I've been here the whole time. I'm like so impressed. I learned so much.
Oh, good, good.
Thank you for the training. It's very much appreciated. And we'll see you next week. Well, on
Yep.
Sunday.
Yeah, in like 3 days.
Yeah, right.
All
Thank you
right.
for joining, everyone.
Safe travels, everybody. Bye bye.